Listen closely, because this might sting. You're not tired because life is hard. You're tired because your energy is leaking in 100 useless directions. You're feeding distractions instead of your destiny. Most people today are exhausted, but not because they're working 12-hour shifts or breaking their backs in fields. They're drained because they are bleeding energy from 100 tiny cuts every single day. You scroll endlessly, comparing yourself to strangers. You argue with people who will never matter. You chase approval from people who don't even respect themselves. You hand over your mental strength to gossip, to noise, to distractions that don't build you. You collapse into bed wired with anxiety, not because life is impossible, but because your energy is scattered everywhere but where it should be. A lion doesn't sprint after every mouse that crosses its path. It waits, it chooses, it saves its fire for the hunt that matters. And yet you are giving lion-level strength to mosquitoes. You don't need more motivation. You need energy discipline. You need to stop feeding weakness and start mastering your power. That's what this journey is about. Most people think their biggest problem is a lack of time. Wrong. Time is not your enemy. Wasted energy is. You can waste a day and recover. But when you pour your focus, your emotions, and your inner fire into the wrong people, wrong habits, and wrong thoughts, you're not just losing minutes, you're losing momentum, purpose, and identity. The Stoics understood this 2,000 years ago. They taught that the true battlefield isn't the outside world, but the mind. If you can't master your reactions, if you can't control your attention, you will always live as a slave to noise. Power doesn't always roar. Real power is calm, steady, unshakable, the kind of strength that makes others wonder, why doesn't this person crumble when everything is burning? This video isn't soft self-help. It's not wishful thinking. It's hard, raw truth. I'm going to give you 7 ruthless Stoic rules to master your energy, protect your peace, and sharpen your focus. If you're tired of being mentally drained, if you're sick of waking up already behind, then pay attention. These aren't tips or inspirations. These are weapons, tools forged from ancient wisdom and sharpened for modern chaos. Energy is more valuable than time. Because without energy, time is worthless. You can have 12 free hours and accomplish nothing if your mind is scattered and your spirit is leaking strength. The Stoics didn't battle social media, but they battled distraction, injustice, enemies, and suffering. Their victory came from discipline of thought. Epictetus warned, "You become what you give your attention to." So, here's the question you must answer. What are you giving your attention to daily? That answer reveals your future. If your focus is on garbage, expect garbage in your life. If your focus is on growth, your life will mirror it. Energy is choice. Attention is currency. And if you don't guard it, you'll bankrupt yourself before noon. Well, rule number 1, cut out energy vampires without hesitation. Without guilt, you cannot live strong while entertaining people who drain you. It's impossible, no matter how disciplined you are, no matter how many books you read. If you keep parasites in your circle, they will rob you of focus, joy, and drive. An energy vampire isn't just the loud, toxic personality. It's the quiet manipulator, the constant complainer, the one who always shows up with problems but never with gratitude, the one who keeps you small because your growth threatens them. Here's the truth. You owe no one unlimited access to your peace. Not family, not old friends, not anyone. The Stoics taught that association shapes destiny. If your circle is not sharpening you, it's dulling you. Don't confuse kindness with weakness. When you protect dysfunction in the name of loyalty, you destroy yourself. Cut without hate. Step back without noise. Protect your life force like a warrior guards his shield. You might hesitate. You'll think, but I've known them for years. They're family. They've always been around. Stop right there. The length of time you've tolerated someone's behavior doesn't make it right. Ask yourself honestly, do they help you rise? Or do they keep you chained to the same old version of yourself you're desperate to outgrow? The Stoics would be blunt. Energy is not infinite. Every person in your life is either fuel or poison. Keeping the wrong ones close is like drinking acid a little at a time. Cutting someone off does not mean hate. It means self-respect. It means choosing progress over pity, purpose over drama, growth over guilt. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to announce your silence. Just detach, calmly and firmly. Let them feel the absence. You're not being cruel. You're reclaiming what's yours. Peace, focus, and strength. Silence is power. Distance is discipline. This is how energy mastery begins. Rule number 2, Control what you feed your mind. Marcus Aurelius said, "The things you think about determine the quality of your mind." Think about this. If someone followed you all day, whispering in your ear, "You're worthless. You'll never succeed. Everyone is better than you," you'd call that abuse. But isn't that exactly what happens when you fill your mind with toxic media? Empty scrolling, shallow drama, and constant comparison. You are programming your own destruction. The mind is a garden. Plant trash, reap weeds. Plant wisdom, reap strength. If your diet is chaos, your life will feel chaotic. If your input is poison, your output will be misery. Stop acting shocked when your inner world is anxious and weak, while your daily consumption is noise and negativity. The quality of your thoughts is not an accident. It's the direct result of what you let in. Garbage in, garbage out. Discipline starts with what you consume. Ask yourself now, what are you watching every day? What songs are you letting shape your emotions? What accounts do you follow? Who are you giving your ears and eyes to? These aren't harmless choices. These are seeds being planted in your nervous system, teaching you what normal feels like. Don't expect peace if your daily diet is chaos. Don't expect strength if your inputs are weakness. Think of it like training in the gym. You work hard, but every time you leave, someone slips poison into your drink. How long before your body collapses? That's exactly what happens to your mind when you constantly feed it junk. This isn't about becoming a robot. It's about being intentional. Replace gossip with growth. Replace endless scrolling with silence. Replace cheap arguments with deep reflection. Every small choice matters. Every click is programming you. Guard your mind like a fortress, because what enters will eventually shape who you become. Epictetus warned, if you want to improve, be willing to be thought foolish. People will mock you for stepping away from trends, for ignoring drama, for refusing to drown in the same noise as everyone else. Let them laugh. While they chase every distraction, you'll be sharpening your edge. You'll notice that as you curate your inputs, your thoughts become cleaner, your focus sharper, and your anxiety lighter. Not because life magically got easy, but because your inner environment stopped working against you. The modern world is an attention trap, designed to steal your energy before you even know it's gone. But you don't have to be a prisoner. You can decide what deserves access to your mind. And when you make that decision, you stop living as prey and start living with power. Protect your attention like your life depends on it, because it does. Your energy flows where your attention goes. Rule number 3, master the pause before reacting. Most people aren't destroyed by what happens. They're destroyed by how they react. Someone cuts them off in traffic, and suddenly their whole day is ruined. A text goes unanswered, and they spiral into insecurity. One disrespectful comment, and their peace collapses. It's not the event, it's the explosion after it that drains your energy. The Stoics had a weapon for this. The pause, that small space between trigger and response. That moment of breath where you choose control over chaos. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react that matters." This isn't weakness, it's discipline. It's easy to lash out. It's common to overreact. But power is in observing, breathing, and responding with intention. Every reaction costs energy. And if you throw it away on meaningless triggers, don't be surprised when you're empty by nightfall. Think of your energy like money in your wallet. Would you hand out $100 bills to random strangers screaming nonsense on the street? Of course not. But every time you argue with trolls, every time you lash out at insults, every time you let anger hijack your mood, you're giving away your energy for free. The pause protects you. It buys clarity. It creates space for wisdom. Before you respond, ask it, does this person's opinion change my truth? Will this matter in 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 years? Most of the time, the answer is no. So why pay with your peace? The modern world wants you reactive, quick to anger, quick to argue, quick to click, but Stoicism teaches the opposite. Slow down. Observe. Let silence be your strength. The slower you are to react, the more powerful you become. Pause, breathe, decide. That is how warriors protect their inner fire. Rule number 4, be ruthless with your priorities. You're not burned out because you're doing too much. You're burned out because you're doing too many things that don't matter. You hand out yes like candy. You say yes to favors that drain you, yes to conversations that waste you, yes to tasks that have nothing to do with your purpose. Meanwhile, your true mission, your goals, your growth sits in the background, starving. That's not a time problem. That's a priority problem. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, if you don't have a consistent goal, you can't live in a consistent way. Every minute you give to meaningless distractions is a minute stolen from the life you could have built. Stop living like a leaf blown by the wind. Get clear. What truly matters. What actually moves you forward. Write it down. Guard it. If it doesn't align with your purpose, it's a distraction. Cut it. Here's the harsh truth. Every yes you give is also a no to something else. Say yes to gossip. And you say no to focus. Say yes to endless scrolling. And you say no to progress. Say yes to people who don't respect your time. And you say no to the version of yourself you're trying to build. Stop being busy and start being effective. The Stoics believed life must be built action by action. With clarity and intention, perfection isn't the aim, alignment is. So here's a practical rule. Every night, write down just 3 non-negotiable priorities for tomorrow. Not 10, not 20, 3. And when the day comes, protect them like a soldier guards his post. If you complete them, you've won. Everything else is extra. This is how you move with power instead of chaos. Seneca said it best. It's not that life is short, but that we waste so much of it. Rule number 5, say no without apology. One of the biggest reasons people feel overwhelmed is because they've been brainwashed to feel guilty for protecting themselves. You agree to plans you don't want. You answer messages that drain you. You let others' comfort weigh more than your own mental health. Enough. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." And mastery begins with the word no. Stop apologizing for it. Stop cushioning it. Stop begging people to understand it. No is a full sentence. You don't owe explanations for guarding your energy. The Stoics weren't people pleasers. They didn't bend to every emotional demand. They lived by principle and let others handle their own feelings. When you start saying no with clarity, the right people will respect you, and the wrong ones will disappear. Both outcomes are blessings. Every no to chaos is a yes to your peace. Let's get practical. You don't need to say, "I'm sorry. Maybe another time. I wish I could." That's weakness disguised as kindness. You can simply say, "No, that doesn't work for me." Or, "No, I'm focused right now." Or just, "No." Silence after no is not cruelty, it's self-respect. Remember this. People treat you the way you allow them to. If you keep saying yes to what drains you, don't be surprised when people line up to take more. But when you draw a line, when you stop being endlessly available, when you guard your time with discipline, you send a message, "My energy is not for sale." The wrong people will leave. Let them. The right people will adjust. Appreciate them. Stop explaining. Start enforcing. Marcus Aurelius put it clearly. Do what's right. The rest doesn't matter. Your future self is begging you. Stop betraying your own peace. Rule number 6. Guard your mornings like sacred ground. The first hour of your day is the foundation of everything that follows. Yet most people sabotage it before they even leave the bed. You wake up, grab your phone, and flood your nervous system with noise, notifications, texts, arguments, news, chaos. Within 60 seconds of opening your eyes, you've already surrendered your calm. That's not just a bad habit. That's self-destruction. Marcus Aurelius, an emperor ruling an empire, took time every morning to write, to reflect, to anchor his mind. Why? Because he knew the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. If the first thoughts you allow in are complaints, distractions, and digital junk, don't be shocked when your entire day feels poisoned. Your mornings are your armor. If you hand them over to chaos, you step into battle unarmed. So here's your command. Create a Stoic morning ritual. No phone for the first 30 minutes, non-negotiable. Before you speak, breathe deeply. 10 slow breaths to anchor your nervous system. It's move your body. Even 5 minutes of stretching awakens the mind. Reflect or journal. What matters today? What will I refuse to let control me? And finally, pick one Stoic truth to guide your focus. It doesn't need to be elaborate. It just needs to be intentional. This is how you claim your mornings instead of surrendering them. The difference is staggering. On the days you guard your mornings, you'll feel stronger, calmer, sharper, less reactive. On the days you let chaos in first, your entire day becomes a firefight you're not equipped for. The Stoics knew discipline in the morning bleeds into discipline in the evening. Own the first hour, and the rest of the day bends to your command. Rule number 7. Stop explaining yourself to everyone. One of the biggest energy leaks in your life is the need to justify your choices. You waste hours defending your boundaries, your silence, your discipline to people who will never understand. why you cut someone off, why you skipped the party, why you're focused instead of distracted. Let me be blunt. You don't owe explanations to anyone who isn't building your future with you. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one, your actions are enough. Your path doesn't require public approval." Every time you explain yourself, you give power away. Every time you defend your peace, you weaken it. True Stoic strength is calm, silent certainty. You walk your road, let others gossip, let others misunderstand. Their noise changes nothing. Your silence is dignity. Your results will speak louder than their questions ever could. Think of it this way. A rock doesn't explain why it doesn't move when the waves crash against it. It simply stands. You must become that rock. People will talk. They'll misjudge your silence. They'll invent stories about your focus. Let them. Those who truly care won't need an explanation. They'll respect your choices. Those who don't respect your discipline will never accept your reasoning anyway. So, why waste your breath? Every time you justify yourself, you water weeds. You waste strength on minds not ready to understand. Stop explaining. Decide who you are. Then live it. As Epictetus said, first say to yourself what you would be, then do what you have to do. That's it. That's the formula. Decide, act, repeat. No debates, no defense. The moment you drop the habit of explaining yourself, you reclaim massive amounts of energy. That energy is yours. Don't give it away. Let's pause and recognize something. If you followed this far, it means you're done living like everyone else. You're tired of being reactive, scattered, and drained. You're ready for mastery. The Stoics taught that life will always be full of noise, temptations, distractions, injustices, suffering. But the wise don't waste themselves fighting every storm. They train their mind to remain centered while the world spins. That's the art of energy control. You've already learned the blueprint. Cut energy vampires, guard your inputs, master the pause, lock in priorities, say no without guilt, protect your mornings, and stop explaining yourself. These aren't motivational slogans. These are survival rules. Apply them and you stop living as prey. You become the hunter. Fail to apply them, and life will chew through your spirit until there's nothing left. The choice is in your hands. Discipline or destruction, power or weakness. Choose. Understand this clearly. Energy is your greatest asset. More valuable than money, more valuable than time. Because without energy, you can't use either. You can waste a day and recover, but waste your energy on worthless people, pointless arguments, or endless distractions. And you may lose weeks, months, even years. Most people spend their lives bankrupt, not because they lacked opportunity, but because they poured their energy into garbage. The Stoics didn't have smartphones, but they had enemies, betrayal and chaos. Still, they trained their minds to stay disciplined and calm. That's why Marcus Aurelius could rule an empire without collapsing. That's why Epictetus could live as a slave, yet remain freer than his masters. They understood what modern people forget. You become what you give your energy to. Guard it like your life depends on it, because it does. Every leak is a loss. Every distraction is a thief. Look around today's world. It's built to drain you. Every app, every notification, every headline is designed to steal your focus. You think you're choosing, but you're being farmed for your attention. And the cost, your purpose, your discipline, your peace. The average person spends more time feeding algorithms than feeding their soul. That's why they feel empty. That's why they're restless, weak, and constantly seeking motivation, but you don't need more hype. You need to close the leaks. The Stoics understood that strength is built not by adding, but by subtracting. Remove what weakens you, cut what distracts you, step away from what poisons you. Mastery is not about doing more, it's about doing less with greater intensity. Stop handing your power to things that don't matter. Attention is your weapon. Guard it, aim it, use it, because if you don't, the world will aim it for you, and you'll lose. Let's get brutally honest. You don't need another productivity hack. You don't need a new morning routine trend or a motivational quote wallpaper. What you need is to reclaim control over yourself. Every distraction you indulge is self-betrayal. Every time you react without pause, you trade peace for weakness. Every time you tolerate toxic people, you burn fuel that should power your future. Mastery isn't complicated, it's just rare. Because most people are addicted to comfort. The Stoics didn't sugarcoat life. They knew suffering is real, betrayal is real, chaos is real, but they also knew this. Your reaction decides whether you're crushed or sharpened. Marcus Aurelius didn't wake up looking for inspiration. He woke up ready to fight for his mind. You must do the same. No excuses, no waiting. Energy mastery starts the moment you stop negotiating with weakness and start commanding yourself like a soldier. Picture this: your mind is a fortress. Every thought, every choice, every reaction is either strengthening the walls or tearing them down. Most people leave the gates wide open, letting gossip, negativity, and distraction walk straight in and plunder their peace. And then they wonder why they feel anxious, restless, unfocused. The Stoics didn't allow that kind of negligence. They treated their mind as sacred ground. They built mental walls with discipline, reflection, and silence. Seneca warned that life isn't short, but wasted. How much of your life has been wasted because you let invaders inside your head without resistance? The harsh truth: no one can protect your fortress for you. Not your friends, not your family, not your mentors. Only you. You are the gatekeeper. If you don't start guarding your attention with the intensity of a soldier, then don't complain when your inner world collapses. Energy mastery is war. Every day you wake up, you're under attack. Notifications are arrows. Negative people are ambushes. Temptations are traps. If you don't see it this way, you'll keep walking into battles unarmed. The Stoics prepared daily, not with swords, but with mindset. Marcus Aurelius started mornings reminding himself, you will meet people today who are selfish, arrogant, dishonest. Why? Because expectation is armor. When you expect challenges, they don't drain you, they train you. But when you walk blind, every obstacle feels like betrayal. You waste energy being shocked at the obvious. Stop acting surprised that life is hard. Stop wasting energy on wishing it were easy. Instead, use that fuel to strengthen yourself. Build mental armor every morning. Anticipate the attacks. Decide your response before the chaos even begins. That's how you stop leaking energy and start using every day as training for greatness. Stop chasing comfort. Comfort is the enemy of discipline. The more you seek ease, the weaker you become. The Stoics didn't glorify pain, but they embraced discomfort as training. Cold mornings, harsh realities, loss, betrayal. These were their teachers. And they didn't complain, they adapted. Meanwhile, modern people collapse when Wi-Fi is slow or when someone disagrees with them online. Pathetic. You want real power. Stop pampering yourself. Stop needing constant entertainment, constant approval, constant distraction. Every time you run from discomfort, you lose energy. Every time you face it head on, you gain strength. Your body gets stronger by lifting heavy weights. Your mind gets stronger by carrying heavy truths. Ask yourself, are you building resilience or are you building excuses? The Stoics chose resilience every single day. And if you don't, then stop pretending you want mastery. Because comfort will never build the kind of mind that cannot be broken. You say you want peace, but then you keep fueling chaos. You say you want focus, but then you scroll for hours. You say you want discipline, but then you let every distraction own you. Stop lying to yourself. Energy mastery demands brutal honesty. Marcus Aurelius didn't excuse his weakness. He confronted it on the page every morning. Epictetus didn't pity himself as a slave. He turned hardship into strength. Seneca didn't beg for easier days. He trained for tougher ones. And here you are, complaining about your circumstances while wasting the little energy you have left. Enough. The gap between where you are and where you want to be is not luck. It's discipline. And discipline begins with energy control. Every time you leak focus, every time you indulge weakness, you push your future further away. So, stop talking about change. Start enforcing it. Stop asking. Start commanding yourself. Let me be clear. Laziness isn't just sitting on the couch. Laziness is tolerating distractions. Laziness is letting toxic people stay. Laziness is choosing short-term pleasure over long-term purpose. And it's killing you. The Stoics would call this a failure of will. They believed life wasn't about comfort. It was about virtue, about strength, about using every ounce of energy for what truly matters. Look at your life right now. How much of your day is spent in alignment with your highest self? And how much is wasted on noise? If the answer shames you, good. That sting is fuel. Use it. Don't numb it with more distraction. Don't bury it under excuses. Discipline is forged in discomfort. Energy mastery begins with ruthless accountability. Until you admit where you're weak, you'll never become strong. Stop pretending. Face yourself in the mirror and own the truth. Your energy is either mastered or wasted. Energy mastery isn't glamorous. It's not about rituals that look good on Instagram or motivational speeches that hype you for 5 minutes. It's about the daily grind of self-control. The moment you want to react but don't. The moment you want to scroll but choose silence instead. The moment you want to say yes but choose no. These aren't small wins. They're the foundation of power. Every act of restraint strengthens you. Every boundary enforced hardens you. Every refusal to waste energy builds an inner fortress no one can tear down. Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions. It's about mastering them. It's about using energy intentionally, not emotionally. Most people lose the battle in seconds because they can't pause, can't prioritize, can't say no. But you will train differently. You will turn discipline into instinct. Until one day, energy mastery won't be effort. It will be who you are. Think about how much stronger you'd be if you stopped wasting energy on things that don't matter. Imagine if every ounce of focus went into building your body, sharpening your mind, advancing your mission. You'd be unstoppable. But right now, most of your fire is leaking into petty arguments, shallow distractions, and fake obligations. That's why you feel drained. That's why your life feels stuck. Energy is not infinite. You either direct it like a laser or scatter it like dust. The Stoics lived with intention. Every action was aligned. Every thought was examined. Every response was deliberate. That's why their words still cut through centuries of noise. They lived with power, not weakness. You can't master life if you can't master energy. So choose. Scatter your strength like the masses, or concentrate it like the few who rise above. Weakness or greatness, it all comes down to where your energy flows. Understand this. Discipline is not about punishment. It's about protection. Every time you cut off distractions, you're not depriving yourself. You're defending yourself. Every time you say no, you're shielding your future. Every time you pause instead of react, you're building strength that chaos can't break. That's what the Stoics knew. True power is silent. It doesn't shout. It doesn't beg for validation. It doesn't waste breath explaining itself. It stands, calm and unmoved, while the world burns around it. That's why people notice when someone lives with discipline. They wonder, why doesn't this person break like the rest of us? The answer is simple. Energy mastery. When you protect your focus, your peace, and your purpose, you become untouchable. The storms still come, but you no longer get blown away. You stand firm, like the rock Marcus Aurelius described, unshaken by the crashing waves. Let's bring it all together. You've learned the rules. Cut off energy vampires. Control your inputs. Master the pause. Guard your priorities. Say no without guilt. Protect your mornings. And stop explaining yourself. These aren't random tips. They're weapons. Tools for building a mind that doesn't collapse under pressure. Tools for living with clarity in a world built on distraction. If you apply them, you won't just survive, you'll rise above. The average person will stay tired, reactive, drained, begging for motivation that never lasts. But you'll be different. You'll move with discipline while others scatter. You'll protect your fire while others waste theirs. You'll be steady when others are chaotic. And people will notice. They'll wonder why you don't crumble. They'll wonder why you stay calm when everything burns. That's the power of Stoic energy mastery. Silent, unshakable, undeniable. This is the final truth. Your energy is your life. Waste it, and you waste yourself. Protect it, and you transform. The world will not slow down for you. Distractions will not disappear. Chaos will not stop knocking. But you are no longer the same. You've chosen mastery. You've chosen to cut the noise, to guard your mornings, to say no, to pause, to focus, to stop explaining, to protect your circle. That is the path of the Stoic. That is the path of the warrior. Marcus Aurelius said, "The tranquility that comes when you stop caring what they say or do, only what you do." That's your mission now. Stop leaking, stop scattering, stand firm, move with intention, speak less, act more. Let your silence prove your strength. From this moment forward, carry one truth with you. I master my energy. I master my life. If this message hit you hard, then it's time to take action. Don't just nod along, live it. Protect your mornings. Say no without guilt. Cut the noise. Guard your energy like your life depends on it, because it does. If you found value here, like this video so it reaches others who need it. Subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell so you never miss the next piece of Stoic wisdom. And remember this, true power is not loud. It's silent, steady, and unshakable. That's the life you're building.